Before I start my review, I just want to give a quick update. I am on the road to 500 subscribers. It's a milestone I'm trying to achieve by the end of summer, so your love and support would definitely mean a lot. So please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment below. I do appreciate everybody who's been commenting on my latest reviews. You guys have been awesome. I love responding to you guys, so please let's keep that conversation going because I will respond to you if you comment on these videos. So let's talk about the best movie of the year. Hell fucking yeah. Furiosa, a Mad Max saga directed by George Miller, which is a prequel to Mad Max Fury Road. And the plot of the movie is, snatched from the green place of many mothers, young Furiosa falls into the hands of a great biker horde led by the warlord Dementus. Sweeping through the wasteland, they come across a citadel presided over by Immortan Joe. As the two tyrants fight for dominance, Furiosa soon finds herself in a non-stop battle to make her way home. So I haven't been the biggest fan of prequel type projects. Normally there's a few exceptions like Better Call Saul, which is a prequel to Breaking Bad, and I feel like some other prequel movies haven't really hit the needle or make it feel impactful to the main story of the original movie. So when I heard about Furiosa having her own movie, which is pretty much a prequel from Mad Max, I thought, alright, let's give her a shot. It wasn't on my most anticipated list of the year, but I love a good action movie, especially from George Miller, and I'm proud to say, yes, this is a great damn movie. And call me crazy, but I think it's my favorite movie of the year so far. It has great impactful action sequences, a powerful story led by Anya Taylor-Joy playing Furiosa, a fantastic performance by Chris Hemsworth, and I feel like this movie really elevates Fury Road. But I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself, so let's break down some of the stuff that I really enjoyed about this movie. Regarding the action sequences, they are very gripping. Some of the best stuff I've seen in theaters in a very long time. If you have the chance to watch it on the biggest and loudest screen, I do recommend so because there are some great sequences, especially a scene that involves a war rig that is really compelling. Something about it is just vibrant, bloody. It's so impactful to the violence of it too that you're just so locked in. The cinematography really shines bright in this movie too, and it does pull off the same similarities from Fury Road. So if you were to watch Furiosa, then go into Mad Max Fury Road, you're gonna have a great double feature because those color shades in Furiosa really match perfectly to Fury Road. And it blows my mind because George Miller is 79 years old and his imagination is pretty damn bonkers, and for him to excel that onto the big screen is just an achievement, man. I mean, the guy is still kicking. I really hope we get to see more Mad Max related movies because the dude deserves it. Like, he is just a master craft at making great action sequences and powerful performances by the actors involved. Now, keep in mind, the first hour of the movie is a young Furiosa played by Aaliyah Brown. I'm hoping I'm saying her name right, but she really does shine a lot with young Furiosa as you get to see her backstory, her childhood being taken away, her mother being killed by this warlord Dementus, and it's just pretty interesting because the first hour of the movie really carries onto this young child actor playing Furiosa, and then later on in the movie we get to see Anya Taylor-Joy playing a little bit older Furiosa. So I thought it was a great transition between those two actors playing the same character. So once we get Anya on the screen, she really does compel a lot of scenery. She's not given a lot of dialogue, which I heard some people complain about, but you have to understand why she's so mute in the movie. But then when she does talk, it's very powerful. It's very versatile too. And you just understand her motives of why she's such a silent character. But then when she speaks out of fierce, man. She is just killing it on screen, dude. Oh my god. And they always say actions do speak louder than words. And that's why I give Anya a lot of props for carrying this film a lot regarding her facial expressions and her motives throughout the whole movie. Chris Hemsworth plays Dr. Dementus, which I will say is his best performance so far. I do think he plays a compelling villain. He's like a ringleader who's really fucked up in the head, and I really have to say, this is probably my favorite performance of his. He is funny, but in a charming way. He is evil and ruthless. Like, he has motives in this film that I'm not going to say too much, but you could kind of say that they're very on par to Furiosa. And every time he speaks on the microphone, it is just compelling, man. He just knows how to deliver a really great speech.
I am the great Dementus. I rule the wasteland.
Now, considering this is a prequel to Fury Road, we do get some interesting characters from the film, like a younger version of Immortan Joe and some other characters from the Citadel, but my favorite addition has to be Tom Bjork's Petronian Jack. He was considered the commander of the Citadel's war rig, and he does play a mentor to Furiosa, and I do love their dynamic, especially in that war rig scene, which is like a great intensive 10-minute action sequence that is very fun to watch, but you get to see how badass Jack really is, and really to help out Furiosa. And maybe I would have enjoyed an extra 10 minutes seeing more of Jack, because he does play a prominent role in Furiosa's life, so maybe a little more story between those two would have been fun to see, but at the same time I think it would have dragged the movie just a bit. And it's interesting because the movie's broken up to like 5 chapters, I believe. Definitely no less than 5, but it's interesting to see those chapters have some significance to the story of Furiosa and really understanding her role in this big wasteland. And that kind of leads to some of the negatives of the movie. I feel like the movie may be 20 minutes too long. I do feel like some of the chapter sequences kind of drag just a bit, especially towards the last chapter where I thought maybe this movie was going to end a bit quicker, but it kind of dragged on just a bit. But I do feel like each scene is very impactful and very important to both Dementus and Furiosa. Especially in the last chapter, we get to see both Dementus and Furiosa talk at great lengths, and I do think that speech is so impactful. And maybe some people may find like a dissatisfying conclusion, but I do believe the performances really make up for it. And I will say some of the CGI and green screens in the movie is a bit disjointed. I feel like there's certain scenes that could have been polished just a bit more, especially one sequence where it was like 5 seconds of like strange lighting that just didn't fit right with the movie. I was like, maybe that could have taken another week to finish in the process of making this movie. But some of those scenes didn't really distract my viewing point of the movie as a whole, because at the end of the day, Furiosa is a compelling action movie that has some of the best sequences in action films, some of the coolest dialogue I've seen from both Furiosa and Dementus, especially Chris Hemsworth giving a phenomenal performance, and Anya Taylor-Joy playing a greatly young Furiosa who is very vengeful and carries on the torch from Charlize Theron's Furiosa and Fury Road. It's a thrilling tale that will make people hungry for more Mad Max related movies, and it's a great continuation to see Furiosa transition perfectly to Fury Road. And that's why my score for Furiosa Mad Max Story is gonna be a 4.8 out of 5. It's a high grade for the channel. I'm so glad to experience this movie on the biggest and loudest screen. I do recommend you guys watching it. And please leave a comment down below if you did watch the movie, because I would like to have a real intensive spoiler conversation, because I feel like there's certain sequences that I can't really talk about on the review, considering this is my non-spoiler thoughts. But hey, leave a comment down below and let's have a discussion. And it kind of blows my mind because the movie's underperforming at the box office, which I kind of understand considering the first Mad Max movie that came out almost like a decade ago didn't make a lot of money. So considering that this movie's trying to really heavily market to a prequel film that didn't make a lot of money beforehand, it's a bit trickier sell, but I do hope the hype and good word of mouth brings in more money in next weekend's box office, so hopefully it has some decent legs. But I do think it's worth the time and money to go see this movie if you can. I really do recommend it, and I do say that with a lot of passion and love, because movies like this deserve attention. There's a lot of craft and care when it comes to making projects like Furiosa, and really there's so many just incomplete films that are just put out there that just give no good experience for the casual movie audience, and even for people who love cinema like myself. If we don't give it the right attention, guess what? We're gonna have movies just go straight to streaming that just don't feel the same as if you're watching it at a movie theater, man. Like sometimes the biggest and loudest screens, the viewing experience being in a dark room where you get to see something that's just clearly amazing right in front of you, deserves really a lot more attention. Let's try to support movies like this, and hopefully we can really come in here as a group and understand that movie theaters are here to stay. We shouldn't have to be stuck on streaming all the time, which, hey, I do understand. Yes, there's tons of movies on streaming right now, but the really good ones that deserve your attention and deserve to be seen on the biggest screen possible are much more enjoyable than really being at home. But hey, those are my opinions, but I want to hear your opinions down below about Furiosa, a Mad Max Story. Did you guys enjoy it? Did you guys dislike it? Let me know down below. And this week I won't have a review, but I will have something a bit special that I've been working on, and I can't wait to bring it to the YouTube screens of your own tablet or iPhone or Android, really. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.